I've been hearing from Americans lately that you can't find good retro bargains when thrifting anymore. The thing is, I'm not in America, and I've got a couple of hours to kill today, so let's go thrifting. Oh, except over here in England, we call it charity shopping. Forgot my wallet. Starting with this shop, simply as it's the nearest. It's also the biggest charity shop in this town, although it's probably small by US standards. I'm excited to see what I might find anyway. I made a beeline for this little tech corner and I was very tempted by this £8 DVD player. Our Xbox recently died and with it the only DVD playing device in the house. Unfortunately we also have a few Blu-rays, so this DVD only player is not the one. But below this are the DVDs. I always check the DVD section because you can find PC and console games among them. No such luck here though. Over in the opposite corner of the shop is some more tech goodies. I absolutely would have snapped up this 5:4 ratio LCD for £12, except I literally just bought one on eBay and annoyingly I paid over £20 for it. Oh, but what's this? A box of random cables? Jackpot. Mostly SCART cables, but this VGA cable is calling out to me, especially for £1. That's it for this shop, but I learnt next door they have an online collections section with something of interest to me. A Scion Series 3A. I always wanted one of these back in the early 90s. Unfortunately this one is being sold as non-working and has corrosion on the battery terminals. At £30 it's just a bit too much of a risk, I'm gonna have to pass. The next shop had a good selection of printers and scanners, which isn't surprising as printers are evil, so a charity shop is the best place for them. They've also got a dedicated PC games section. I'm tempted by Just Cause 2 and no way! I recently bought this for my wife. It's a game from her childhood. I need to start checking charity shops before I go on eBay. The next shop had another small but decent PC game section, mostly Sims expansions, good old Crysis, Mobile One Rally, and check this out. A sealed, unused copy of Delta Force for £1. If I wasn't so lazy, I'd buy this to flip it on eBay. I could probably make a cool £4 profit. The tech section here has some interesting stuff too. A laminator, 2 VR headsets, and another cheap DVD player. The final shop was a weird one. It wasn't a charity shop, just a second-hand shop, and it was really dark. Everything was randomly spread out through a bunch of rooms. Eventually I found my way to the room with games in it, but there was nothing of interest. Well, let's see what I got. Of course I picked up that VGA cable, and I'm glad I did. I recently bought this brand new one on eBay and the signal quality is just terrible. I mean, look at the ghosting. The cable I picked up today is much girthier, so should have better shielding. Let's give it a go. Ah yes, straight away I can see everything looks crisper, and no ghosting. And the worst part, the crappy eBay cable costs 3 times as much as the one I picked up today. I decided to grab that copy of Mobile One Rally for a few reasons. It's a racing game I've never played before, it was only £1, but mostly because of the minimum requirements. They happen to exactly match the specs of my Windows 98 machine, so I'll be interested to see how playable it really is on the minimum specs. I also grabbed that copy of Crysis, as I've never actually played Crysis before. And that's not going to change anytime soon, as my retro machine has no chance of playing it. Or even installing it, as I don't have a DVD drive, but for £1.50, how could I say no? And finally, yeah, I went back and got the Scion, I just couldn't resist. If it was a private seller, I would have let it go, but it's for a good cause, and hopefully it just needs the battery terminals cleaning. This will be a subject of its own video very soon. Considering that was just a couple of hours in a relatively small town, I'd call that a success. I think it's safe to say that retro thrifting is not dead in England. And apologies for the camera work, I was trying to be inconspicuous, so I was filming on my phone portrait with a wide angle lens, and then I've kind of cropped it down to widescreen in post. If I do any more of these, I'll be sure to get some of those weird camera glasses that LGR uses.